Guys, am I audible? Can you confirm? Am I audible? Hello, am I audible, guys? No, no, no. Just this only, live only. Yeah. Only YouTube live only we're conducting. It's not Zoom session. Yeah, it's YouTube live only. Yeah, thank you, Sirish. Thank you, Sirish. Sure, sure. Guys, we'll start the class in a few minutes. Just hold on for a while. We'll start the class. Guys, am I audible? Hello, guys, am I audible? Guys, can you confirm me? Am I audible? Not in Zoom, Shishel. Right, guys. We'll start the class. Just hold on for a while. Guys, can you confirm? Am I audible, guys? Hello, guys. Can you confirm? Am I audible? Okay. Okay, guys. We'll start the class now. Okay. Guys, can you guys ping in the chat box? Are you? Shall we start? Okay. So today we'll be looking into DB authentication. So today we'll be looking into DB authentication. DB authentication. Okay. And second one is JWT authentication, and third one is OAuth authentication. Okay. Okay, guys, do you have any idea, about these concepts? DB authentication, JWT authentication, or OAuth authentication. Do you guys have any idea? You can ping in the chat box, guys. If you have any idea, please do ping. Okay, Srishal. Right. So the thing is, in yesterday's live session, we have seen, in yesterday's live session, we have seen, okay, filters in detail, and then interceptors, and then provider manager. Then comes what, guys? Provider, provider. Then comes user detail service. Okay, then comes DB. So yesterday's session, we have seen all those things. Am I correct, guys? We have seen what is filter, what is interceptor, what is provider manager, what is user detail service. Am I correct? So, guys, do you have any doubts in these concepts, in yesterday's concepts? If not, we'll continue with we'll continue with JWT and OAuth, guys. Okay, right? Okay. You see here, yesterday we have seen all those things. If let us see the block diagram again, guys. You can see the block diagram again. You can see the block diagram again. Okay, online. See, let me recollect the block diagram, whichever we have seen yesterday's class. Okay. Yeah, you can see here, guys. This is about filters. This is about filters. Okay, then comes the request will pass through filter, and then comes authentication manager, which is busy in allocating the respective provider. Okay, then comes what? User detail service. Then comes actual DB. Okay, once the user detail service was able to found the record, then the DB will return true, and this will return true to the provider, and provider will return true to the authentication manager, and authentication manager will return true to the filter. Okay, and we will store that result in where, guys? Security context folder. Guys, are you clear with this flow? Are you guys clear with this flow? See, this is the flow, right? Yesterday, whichever we have seen. Am I correct? We have seen what is filters and how, and I have shown you while debugging also. Okay, the debugging trace also I have shown you, right? Okay, so from filters, we are calling authentication manager. Okay, using authentication manager, we were able to find the respective provider, and provider using user detail service, it was able to trigger the DB. And you can see here, and apart from that, yesterday I have explained you the what is security filter chain and what is filter chain. Okay, clear, people? In filter chain, it is a group of filters. Our required filter is what? Delegating filter proxy. Okay, filter chain proxy. Inside delegating filter chain proxy, you have n number of security filters are there. Security filter 1, security filter 2, security filter 3, and security filter n. This is the block diagram which you can see on the documentation. You can find here. Okay, as I said yesterday, you can go to Spring Security documentation. Clear? See, this link I already shared yesterday, right? Okay, you can see all the block diagrams here, guys. The filter chain, okay, security filter chain, likewise. Okay, clear, people? See, I'll be sharing the chat box. I'll be sharing them in the chat box, guys. Right. Okay. Right. So, as on top of that, I have explained you two things. One is what? Servlet container. One is what? Spring Boot container. Inside Spring Boot container, you have three layers. One is interceptor, REST controller, and dispatcher servlet. There are three layers are there inside the Spring Boot container. And second one is what? Servlet container. We have filter one, filter 2, and filter n. Okay, filter n. And I told you there is some force, some background support required to delegate the control from servlet controller to Spring Boot container. Okay, that is nothing but what, guys? Delegating filter chain proxy. That is nothing but delegating filter chain proxy. Guys, are you guys clear with the flow so far? Yes, can you ping in the chat box if you have any doubts? Yes, do you have any doubts? If you have any doubts, please ping in the chat box, guys. Okay, right, clear. Okay, thank you, little princess. I think you joined yesterday also, right? Yeah, thanks for joining again. Okay, see, the first one, the yesterday's concept is what? Servlet container versus Spring Boot container, and delegating filter chain proxy is the one which will delegate the control from servlet container to Spring Boot container. Clear. Inside filters, you have n number of filters, and one of the filter is nothing but delegating filter proxy. Inside delegating filter proxy, you have n number of security filters are there. Security filter 0 to security filter n. Okay. Okay. And I told this block diagram also. You can see there are n number of filters are there. By default, you can see username, password, authentication filter, and basic filter is second thing. And I showed you security context folder filter also. And I explained you the provider manager responsibility and its internal code and its flow also. Clear? And there are n number of providers are there. Okay, guys. Today we'll be seeing DB authentication, guys. We'll be starting with what, guys? DB authentication. Okay. See here, guys. What do you mean by DB authentication, guys? What do you mean by DB authentication? Anyone? Guys, any idea what do you mean by DB authentication? So far, we have seen custom security and default security. Okay, custom security or default security are in-memory authentication. Okay, in these three areas, the credentials will be stored in in-memory database. In-memory database, so that internally this database is nothing but what? In-memory DB. Okay, so filters, authentication manager, provider, and user detail service, and in-memory authentication, everything is already built up, already built for them. But if you take DB authentication, if you take JWT authentication, and if you take OAuth authentication, okay, everything we need to write manually, guys. Everything we need to write manually. Okay, clear? Right. Now you can see here. One minute, guys. Right. Let us open Spring Security DB. Let us open Spring Security DB. Okay, guys. Yesterday I have explained you about this packaging structure also. SRC main Java means what? The total source code will be present over there. SRC main resources means what? The total properties will be present over there. SRC test Java means what? JUnit and Mockto cases will be over there. Okay. And Maven dependencies means what, guys? Okay, the total jar files will be there in Maven dependencies. And POM file means what? Any jar file you want to download into the class path, you need to mention its POM dependency from Ambient repository. Okay. Breaking. Guys, are you able to hear me properly, or is it breaking, guys? Guys, am I audible properly, guys? Because I got a complaint in the WhatsApp that you can't hear me properly. Guys, am I audible properly? Yeah, clear, right? Okay, thanks, Nandlal. I think Srishal, I think there is some issue at your end. Please check it, okay? Guys, I think some of you just now joined. Okay, I can see. See, here I just gave a recap, guys, of yesterday's class. Okay, I just gave a recap. What is servlet container? What is Spring Boot container? Okay, what is delegating filter chain proxy? Okay, what is filter chain? What is security filter chain? Likewise, I gave a quick recap. Am I correct? And after that, I gave this This recap also. What is username password authentication filter? What is security context folder filter? What is provider manager and DAO authentication filter? OAuth authentication, LDAP, JWT. Likewise, we have seen, right? Okay, right? Just give me a minute. Let me charge my laptop. If you have any doubts, please ask me, guys. Give me a minute, guys. I'll be back. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, guys, do you have any doubts so far? If you have any doubts, you need to ping me in the chat box, guys. Okay, right. So yeah, so that's what. Now tell me, guys. Yesterday we have seen custom security based on which it will go to which provider, based on authentication bindu, based on your manager or your authentication manager or your provider manager. Okay, the provider manager is the abstract of authentication manager. Okay, this manager is going to decide, okay, for this filter which provider is suitable, bindu. Understood, bindu? Right? Okay. Now, guys, now tell me, yesterday we have seen three ways. Am I correct? One is default security. Okay. Yesterday we have seen in three ways, right? One is what? Default security and custom security. Okay. And then what? In memory authentication. Am I correct, guys? Guys, now tell me. Okay, let's assume I started my business as very small. Okay, I have expected, okay, 20 users or 30 users will log in. Okay, will register. That's what I started with this in memory authentication. But randomly I got a huge success in my business. Okay, randomly due to some external factors, I have seen a huge success in my business or in my enterprise. Now 1 lakh users got registered. 1 lakh users got registered. Do you think these guys will support, any of these three will support this 1 lakh registered users? Do you think this 1 lakh registered users will be supported with this, any of these three authentications? 1 lakh registered users. Guys, today I will show you the execution of JWT, execution of OAuth, guys. That is very important. Okay, just hold on for a while. I will try to complete everything today. Okay, within an hour, I'll be wrapping up everything, guys. Okay, guys, now tell me, if I have a 1 lakh users, okay, are are populating to my account, or are arriving into my account, 1 lakh registered users. Can you tell me? Can you tell me this in-memory authentication will support in that scenario? Come on, guys. Yes, yes, Bindu. In that scenario, this in-memory authentication for 1 lakh registered users, 2 lakh registered users, 3 lakh registered users, 4 lakh registered. So, this in-memory authentication will be supporting only for limited users, or only, yeah, only for 5 users, 20 users, 30 users, likewise. But 1 lakh users means it's a big application, right? It's a huge enterprise. In that scenario, you need to take the support of DB, guys. In that scenario, you need to take the support of DB. Okay, guys, am I audible properly? Is my voice is okay? Okay, 1 lakh registered users. So let us start with the DB authentication, guys. Okay, let us start with the DB authentication here. Okay, you can see here, guys, DB config. Guys, I already shared the code base. Okay, GitHub code base also. Okay, guys, you can see this is my GitHub code base, GitHub page, guys. This is my GitHub page. See, you can type Sunil Kiran. Okay, GitHub. You will get my GitHub page. Okay, see inside repositories. Inside repo there is something called what? The Spring Boot security. Okay, in this I have pushed all the coding repos. Okay, all the coding repos. Okay, please do practice on your own. Okay, I'm sharing the link in the chat box. Okay, take that and copy that. Yes, Nandalal, yesterday code also pushed, and two, 2 days code also, it's been already there in that. Okay, okay, copy that link, guys. Everything is there in this report. Total security. Okay, see, you can see DB, JWT, okay, OAuth and workshop means basics. Okay, all the 4 repairs you try to practice on your own, guys. Then you can understand in a much clear way. Okay, right. Right, let us see about DB authentication, guys. Okay, guys, now you can see here, guys, you need to understand each and every part, guys. Okay, you need to understand each and every part. Okay, you need to see, you can see here the security filter chain, right? Security filter chain, guys. Let me explain each and every bean. Okay, let me break it very clearly. Okay, guys, this Spring security plays a key role, in cracking the Java interviews. Okay, so please make sure you focus enough, okay, to get a good grip over the concepts. Okay, right. Okay, now see, guys, security filter chain. Okay, in the security filter chain, we have overridden the security filter chain. Okay, now tell me, do you need any? Do you need for registering? Do you need any authentication, guys? See, for registration, any guy can able to register, right? Guys, for registration, any guy can able to register, right? For login also, any guy can able to log in, right? Am I clear? These two APIs are very common. Am I correct, guys? Nandalal, Bindu, guys, these two APIs are very common, right? For registration and login. Any website you take, Book My Show, Nika, or whatnot, Hacker Rank, GFG, any. Let us take Book My Show. Book My Show you take, right? The famous website. Am I correct? Okay. See, for sign in, do you think any access is required? Any user can able to sign in. Am I correct? Okay, sign in. For registration also, any user can able to register. Am I clear? So for registration and login, for registration and login, no need to give any, no need to check any authentication access. Okay, whether this guy is having access or not, any user can able to access, guys. So you should provide. See, you should override the filter chain such that, okay, whenever you are trying to register, permit all. Whenever you are trying to log in, see, permit all. Clear, guys? In the security filter chain, you are trying to override the security filter chain in this way. Okay, right? See, guys, here we are using what kind of filter? What kind of filter? Basic authentication filter. Okay, we are using basic authentication filter, and you are trying to override register. Okay, you are trying to give, you are telling the Java Spring Boot framework that whenever a user trying to register, please permit him. Whenever a user trying to log in, please permit him. Okay, please permit him. Okay, right? So that my control, my once you permitted, my endpoint will reach to controller layer. Am I correct? Once you permitted, okay, once you permitted, once you permitted, once you permit, my endpoint will reach to, my endpoint will reach through reach to controller layer. Am I correct? Then your actual logic you can write. Am I correct? So that's what. So I am not blocking any login call or register call. And you can see I am using a basic authentication filter. I am using basic authentication filter, and I am trying to configure the provider also here. I am trying to configure the provider also. See, in the default security or in-memory authentication, the provider is what? Dove authentication provider. And it's already inbuilt. Okay, the filter is what? Okay, your username, password, authentication filter. But here you need to configure the provider on your own, guys. Okay, and you need to configure the the permitted endpoints, okay, on your own. Clear, people? Guys, so far, any doubts in this bean, security filter chain bean? Any doubts, guys? People, do you have any doubts in security filter chain bean? Guys, we are looking into DB authentication. DB authentication means whenever a website having a 1 lakh registered users, 2 lakh registered users, then we'll go for DB authentication. In that scenario, in-memory authentication won't help you. Okay. So in that scenario, could you please repeat which part, Nandlal? This Bina? See guys, security filter chain, you are trying to override the security filter chain in the DB authentication. Okay. So you are trying to permit register for whenever a user is trying to register, okay, he should have a full access. Whenever a user is trying to log in, he should have a complete access so that the endpoints will go to, once you permitted, your endpoints will go to reach to the controller layer. In the controller layer, you can have your own logic of DB authentication. Okay, from the controller layer, you should guide. Will be from the controller layer. From the controller layer, we will guide till DB using Spring Security classes. Guys, are you clear? Nandalal, are you clear, Nandalal? See, Nandalal, we are trying to configure the filter on our own, okay, and we are trying to configure the permitted endpoints, and you are trying to configure the authentication provider also. So earlier the filter is inbuilt, the provider manager is inbuilt, okay, and provider is inbuilt, okay. But here we are trying to configure everything on our own. This is custom type, customizing the security for DB, okay. Nandalal, guys, are you clear with this bean? Complete bean? Any doubts? Thanks, Nandlal. It is again gonna be DB interaction with our APIs. Yes, three shell. Yes, three shell. So our API will go into DB and okay, it will check whether the record will is existed in the DB or not. Okay. Yes, Bindu. Yes, Bindu. I'll show you. I'll try to debug Bindu everything. Okay, don't worry. Okay. Okay. Let us go for the next bean. Okay. Let us go for the second bean. Okay. We have seen the security filter chain. See here, we have overridden the authentication manager. We have overridden the authentication manager, guys. You see here. We have overridden the authentication manager. Clear, people? Okay, so this is the second bean. First bean is security filter chain, and second bean is authentication manager. Okay. And the next one is provider. See here, authentication provider. If you see, we are calling this authentication provider. See, in the security filter chain, you are configuring what is my authentication provider and what is my filter. Okay, and what are the endpoints that are allowed. Okay, that that is the configuration you are doing in security filter chain. Okay, and see, this is the authentication provider. Okay, authentication provider, guys. This is the authentication provider. Clear, people? Right, this is the authentication provider, guys. Okay, for this authentication provider, now tell me, guys, if you remember in yesterday's class, I have told you one concept at the end. Okay, I told the layer one is filter layer, the layer two is manager layer, provider manager, and layer three is layer three is provider see, let me, sorry, I confused, guys. Filters, then comes provider manager, then providers. Okay, I told, right, the providers is going to interact with the next layer. Anyone, can you ping me in the chat box if you're able to recollect yesterday's class, that the fourth layer I told you, the fourth layer? Any idea, guys? What is fourth layer? Any idea? Yes, yes, Nandala, very good. User detail service. Yes, you can see here, you can see here, my provider layer, you are trying to configure with user detail service. Okay, user detail service. Okay, see, my user detail service. Okay, see, guys, your user detail service, is nothing. So my this is inbuilt class, guys. Your user detail service is what? Inbuilt class. Remember that. Your user detail service is what? Inbuilt class, guys. Okay. So my user details is implementing the user detail service. Okay. So this user detail service will help us to, sorry, the user detail service will help us to connect with the DB call. Okay, DB. Okay. Guys, are you clear with the total DB config class? See, my user detail service is there, and you are auto wiring the my user detail service using constructor constructor injection. You are trying to inject the bean of the respective user detail service class. This password encoder, I will tell you guys. This password encoder, I will tell you. What does password encoder mean? See here. See, before storing using user detail service, you are going to store in a DB. Am I correct, guys? You are going to store in DB. But before storing in DB, this user detail service will take the help of a password encoder, and it will encrypt the password, and it will store in the encrypted form. Okay, it won't store directly, guys. It won't store directly. Okay, it will store in encrypted form. Okay, the user details will store in the DB. The user details service will store the password in the DB in an encrypted way. Okay, not in a directed way. Clear, people? Guys, are you guys clear so far? Provider has user detail service. No, user detail service is a separate layer. Okay, user detail service is a separate layer, and we are trying to connect the user detail service with the provider. Okay, guys, any more doubts so far? You can ping in the chat box. Bindu, CSRF means cross-site request forgery. Okay, uh, so that will avoid, hackers to, that will prevent hackers to store the website information, or that will prevent hackers to hack our site. Okay, CSR, you should disable the CSRF, Bindu. Okay, cross-site request forgery. Okay, so cross-site request forgery means what, guys? Suppose if you open any bank account, okay, HDFC net banking, okay, let's assume you log into this site. Okay, let's assume you already logged into this site. Am I correct? Suppose you open some dummy site, which is a hacker site. Okay, suppose you open some other site like GFG. Let's assume. Okay, in that site, the hackers wantedly create a button. Upon clicking the button, there will be some script will be injected to your HDFC bank portal automatically. Okay, there will be some script will be injected. Okay, so that is cross-site request forgery. But if you disable CSRF, okay, that can prevent, that we can prevent, guys. Okay, that we can prevent. Okay, right, guys, I hope this configuration classes be very clear, right? See, again I'm telling, the bean 1 is security filter chain, and the bean 2 is authentication manager, and the bean 3 is authentication provider, and the bean 4 is user detail service, which is already injected. Okay, which is already injected. Okay, clear, people? Are you guys clear? Okay, guys, if you have any doubts in the DB config class, please ping me in the chat box. Guys, do you have any doubts in the configuration class? We have created 4 beans. One is security filter chain, one is provider layer, one is authentication manager, fourth one is password encoder. Okay, remember the 4 beans we have created. Let me summarize that. Okay, in the notes I'll summarize that. In DB authentication, we need to configure 4 beans. Okay, one is security filter chain. See, inside security filter chain, we connected provider, we connected filter, we connected password encode, everything. And second one is provider, provider, And next one is what? Authentication manager. And next one is what, guys? User detail service. Next one is what? Password encoder. Okay, see this user detail service, you are not creating the bean. That will be automatically injected by the framework. Okay, you just need to create the remaining 4 beans. Remaining 4 beans. Okay, guys, are you clear with the configuration of DB authentication? Simple, guys. Simple. My filter will divert to what? Provider will divert to user detail service, and user detail service will divert to, come on, user detail service will divert to database. If it is able to find the record in the DB, we will be back with the success response. Right? Is what is that window? AGI authentication is what? We don't have a extra provider in config class. What is that AGI? See, I'm not able to get you window. Can you please type again? Okay, let me start with the execution part, guys. Okay, let me explain the controller layer. See, guys, in the entry point, you have a two controllers. One is register user. One is register user. Okay, see, you can click on register user, and here you see password encoder, right? This password encoder bean we already created. Just okay, just you from the input. This is the C is nothing but what, guys? This is input. Okay, from the input, try to extract the password. Okay, the password which we extracted, try to encode. That's it. See, P this X this expression is very important. This expression is very important. Okay, see here how we are able to encrypting the password and how you are able to storing the password. See here, and then dir.save. This is nothing but DB repo, which we already seen. Okay, this is nothing but DB repo. Okay, extending JP repository. Guys, can you tell me if you're able to understand? If you're able to understand data JP very well, can you tell me what is this method? Guys, we recently completed this concept, guys. I am expecting you guys to ping in the chat box. What is the method type? It is a predefined method or a derived method, or what? Or it belong to query or native query? Which category does that belong to? Which category does that belong to? Anyone? Yes, very good, Bindu. Derived method. Very good, very good. Srishal, it is not query. It's not query, Srishal. Okay. You can say user defined method or derived method. Okay, derived method is the proper name. That means your predefined methods are what, guys? If you are able to find by ID only, but if you want to search by username, so you need to write a method find by username. Okay, find by username. Okay, and customer one, inside customer one, you can see the username. Inside customer one, you can see username. Okay, clear, people? So those who are new, it's a query method only to execute query enter. Yes sir, yes Srishal, yes, correct, you are correct. Yes, little princess, JPA method, correct. Yes, correct. But the name, see, username, right? Make US capital while configuring. Make US capital. Okay, make US capital and write find by username. See, you have a predefined methods only find by ID. You can search by ID only, guys. You can filter it by ID only, but not by username. Just that. Oh my god. 1 minute. Okay. Now you see, guys. I hope the registration process is very clear, right? You are coming to register. You're calling the register user. Okay, and you are trying to encode the password, and you are setting it to the object C, and you are saving the same password. Guys, any doubts in the registration logic? Any doubts in the registration logic? Exactly, Srishal. Exactly. Very good. Very good. Yes, yes, Srishal. Guys, do you have any doubts in the registration process? If there are no doubts, we'll go for the login API. Okay. Guys, don't worry. I'll execute it. I'll show you the result also. Don't worry that part as well. Right? You can see here that we paste. Okay. Guys, you can refer the notes, guys. Okay, the ordered flow. I'm pasting the ordered flow here. Okay. Most. Yeah. Right. Yeah, now we'll go for login. Once we're done with the registration process, we'll go with the login process, guys. Guys, login process, you need to create a token on your own. You need to create a token on your own. How you create the token, guys? Username, password, authentication token. Username, password, authentication token. Send username and password. It will create a token. That token will be input to authenticate method, guys. See, earlier we are not able to call this authenticate method. Earlier the framework is used to call the authenticate method. Am I correct? But now you need to create a token using username and using password. Using the okay, you need to create a token and you should give the token to authenticate method. Clear, people? Clear? Okay, that's it. Okay, then using authenticate, if it is true, okay, then you can say successfully authenticated. If the credentials are failed, you can return invalid credentials. Okay, right? Guys, are you clear, people? Any doubts in this login approach? Guys, do we have any doubts in this login approach? Okay. See, it is diverting to internal authentication method. Internally, it will check up, guys. Internally, it will check everything. Okay. Okay, see, now again it is calling the respective authentication method. From here you're gonna find the provider layer which we are setting. Okay, that also we already configure the provider layer. The provider layer will already connected to user detail service. Okay, right. Guys, shall we go for execution part? Is any doubts, guys? Any doubts in register, in process of registering the user, in process of log into the site? Do you have any doubts? Guys, do you have any doubts? Guys, shall we go for execution part? Shall we go for execution part? Guys, please tell me. Shall we go for execution part? Guys, am I audible properly, guys? Am I audible? Shall we go for execution part? Yeah, thank you, Nandala. Okay, let us stop everything and restart the application. See, guys, resources, you are using which DB? MySQL DB, transaction. Okay, and you are starting in a create mode. You are starting in a create mode. You are starting in a create mode. Right? Let me start the application. Once we're done with it, we'll move to JWT part, guys. Okay. Then OAuth. Next 1 hour, we'll try to complete both the models. Okay. Let me hit the registration process. Okay. See, my username is rom11231122. Let's assume rom1122. Okay. And password is something like 9090. Okay. See, guys, I am trying to register this user, guys. See here. Click on send. Okay. 200. Okay. Now go for 108. Username is instead of rom, click right Sham 1122. Password is 9091. Okay. Right. Now open the DB. You can see here. See, Ram and Shyam. See, guys, the password is directly stored or it's stored in encrypted format. Can you tell me, is the password stored directly or it's stored in encrypted format? In the MySQL DB, is the password stored directly or it's stored in an encrypted way? Anyone? You can ping in the chat box. Yes, encrypted format, Bindu. Right. That's right. Encrypted format. Okay. Now we'll try to log in. We'll try to log in, guys. Okay. See? Yeah, I'm feeling a bit cold, guys, today, but okay, no issues. The password is what? 9090. Am I correct? Let me log in. See, successfully authenticated. Successfully authenticated. Let me give wrong credentials. Let me give wrong credentials. Wrong username. Then the result is what? Invalid credentials. Guys, that's it about the DB authentication, guys. Guys, do you have any doubts? Do you have any doubts in the flow of DB authentication? See, we have configured DB config. I have explained about DB config. Am I correct? In DB config, there are security filter chain bin is there, and authentication manager bin is there, and authentication provider bin is there, and what? Password encoder bin is there. Okay, and user detail service bin is there, guys. Clear? User detail service bin is there. Okay. Then comes what? Entry point. Register and login. In registration process, just we are capturing the input, and going to registration user and everything. We have encoded the password, and you are setting back to same object, and you are trying to save the same object. Okay. Then we'll go for login approach. Okay, we are trying to create a authentication password token, username password token, and you are trying to give the token as input to authenticate method. Remember, guys, authenticate method, the input type is always token only. You can see here. See, authentication. So it is authentication token only. Okay, clear, right? Okay, now authenticate dot is authenticated. Okay, suppose if you are able to match the password, as I told, this authentication manager internally will call what? Provider layer. This authentication manager internally will call provider layer. The provider layer internally will call what? User detail service. That is user detail service internally will call what? DB. Okay, so from the DB, if it was able to find the suitable record, okay, then it will return true. Else it will return false case. Okay, from that, from that point to back, okay, it will return true or false. Okay, based on that, your authenticate object will work, guys. Okay, based on that, your authenticate object will work. Okay, clear, people? Yes, are you clear now? Which format, Bindu? Yes, Rishal. It is the responsibility of. Yeah. I think I missed one thing, guys. Wait. Okay, you can see here, as I told right earlier. If you remember, as I told that earlier, right? My user detail service is there. Okay. See, inside that we have overridden the load user by username. We have override the method load user by user. Guys, this is very important, guys. This is very important. Okay. See here, this method no one will call, guys. This method no one will call this method, but as as your provider is trying to call the user detail service will trying to call this method. User detail service is trying to call this method. Okay. Then using find by username, you will try to get the record of customer, and using new user, okay, new user, we will validate. Okay. See, this load by username is help us to validate whether the record is there or not in the DB. Okay. So as I told, the provider manager will call provider, and provider will call user detail service. Inside user detail service, automatically this method will be executed. Inside user detail service, automatically this method will be executed. Guys, this method name is very important. Load user by username. Remember the method name, guys. Load user by username. Okay. So you're trying to validate, okay, whether the using this new user. See here, user detail service is a Spring Frame security class, and user is also security class, guys. Clear? Guys, am I going speed? Is that okay? The pace which I'm speaking? Why token came here? We need to validate. Not able to understand. Oh, sorry, Nandlal. Sorry. Okay. Which part, Nandlal? If you're not able to understand, which part, Nandlal, you're not able to understand? I will repeat. Please ping in the chat box, Nandlal. Because in the repeat mode, I used to speak a bit faster because I thought it is already covered. Can you speak? Can you ping in the chat box, Nandlal? Which part you're not able to understand? Last part. Okay, Nandlal. See, Nandlal, you are calling authenticate method. Am I correct, Nandlal? You are calling authenticate method, and that will call provider method internally. That will call user detail service. Okay. Inside user detail service, that load user by username will be executed, Nandlal. Okay, remember that. Load user by username. That method will be executed, Nandlal. Load user by username. This method will be executed, Nandlal. Okay. Inside that, inside that, we will check whether the record is valid or not using new user. New user. Okay. This one. Okay. New user. Okay. See here, user detail service is a security class, and user is also security class. Remember that, guys. Okay. User detail service is also security class. And user is also security class. Okay. Given by the framework only. Okay. Nandral, are you clear now? So the provider will call this method. Okay, simple Nandral. Whenever you're trying to click on login, this method will be executed, Nandral. That's it. Simple. That is a simple understanding. Okay. Guys, try to remember in such a way. Whenever you're clicking on login, any button, okay, any website, this method will be executed. Clear? Okay, Nandral. Thank you. Why we are looking for token and DB authentication? Because Bindu, the token is the input for authenticate method. The token is the input for authenticate method. What happens when usernames are duplicated? That means you are trying to log in with same username, right? Okay, that's a valid question, little princess. Okay, the thing is, you should make that username as a primary key so that it won't get duplicated. It will throw error. Okay, if you're trying, see, if suppose, if you remember, right? If you remember, if you are trying to if you're trying to give the same credentials, if you're trying to create the same record, you can find a error right in the front end page. Okay, the user is already been authenticated. Okay, like kind of error you should throw. Like that kind of error you should throw, guys. Okay. Simple, guys. Okay. See, remember, no one will call this method. No one will call this method. You just need to create your own user detail service, and that one should be given in this DB config to here. And this one will be configured by what? Provider layer. See, guys, filter chain is trying to configure provider. Okay. And provider is trying to configure user detail service. Remember the flow? How it is, how we configured. Guys, this total code is already there in the GitHub repo. Please go through the GitHub repo, guys. Okay. Yes, we have done with the DB authentication. Guys, sorry, earlier I was speaking a bit fast. Sorry for that. Yeah. We have done with the DB authentication, guys. Okay. Guys, do you have any doubts so far in DB authentication? Or else we'll move for the next approach. Yes, yes, Bindu. We need to configure the flow in before only in the DB authentication. From now on, every method, every approach will be configured. Okay. Yes, yes, yesterday that's what I'm telling. Yesterday's are almost inbuilt models only. They are very small models. Yesterday there is no count for DB. Yesterday totally in memory database. Okay, yesterday totally in memory DB. So no, from external we no need to configure anything, Bindu. Okay. So but today we're looking in DB. We are looking in DB configuration. Okay. We need to our own DB, so we need to configure them explicitly. So Nandalal, so how does which user see Nandalal? When you're trying to log in, right, Nandlal, you're sending the username. You're sending the username. Okay. That username. 1 minute. Okay. See, as you're capturing the input, right, Nandlal. Okay, and you are creating a token, right? Okay, then you are sending the token to authenticate method. This authenticate method will call the provider layer, and provider layer will call what? User detail service. Inside user, see, again I'm telling here, this line authenticate method. Hello, classroom, Mali culture. Yeah. See, this authenticate method will call what? Provider layer, and the provider layer will call what? User detail service. Okay, using the same token will be transferred. The token which we created using username and password, the same token will be transferred. So inside user detail service, you have a method called load user by username that will fetch that load user by username will fetch record from the DB, and then the same method is going to validate the same load user by username method. Load user by username method is going to validate. Clear, people? Guys, do you have any more doubts? Thanks, Nandral. Thanks, Nandral. So the same object will be transferred to load user by username method. In the load user by username method, okay, we are going to fetch the details. Okay, we're going to fetch the details from the database, and you are going to compare with the database. That is the method which will return true or false to the bank. Okay. Thank you, Nandral. Thanks for asking doubts, guys. Okay. So let us move to JWT authentication, guys. Let us move to JWT authentication. Okay. Uh, Guys, now tell me what is JWT, what is JSON Web Token, what is what does it stand for? Guys, what is JWT? Any idea? JSON Web Token. Any idea, guys? What is JWT? What is JWT, guys? What is JSON Web Token? Yeah, token used to identify and authenticate user. Very good, Nandral. That is the core theme of the JWT. Okay, right, guys. There is an official site. Type jwt.io. Okay, this is the official site, guys. See, the first let us discuss about JWT, guys. The JWT will be having three segments. One is header, and second one is payload, and third one is secret, which you can see here. Okay, and the token will be made up of two dots. Two dots. Okay, two dots. Okay, the token will be made up of two dots. So inside header, you are going to mention which secret hashing algorithm you are using and what is the type of the algorithm. JWT. Understood, guys? What is the type of the algorithm? Okay, JWT. Understood? Next one, payload, guys. So payload means what? The name of the user, admin. Okay, IAT means issued at, guys. Okay, issued at. Okay, it is a time. Okay, issued at. The token is generated at what time? IAT. Okay. So let me explain. I'll explain everything, guys. In the coding level, I'll explain everything. What is this payload and what it is about and everything. I'll explain. Then comes what? Signature verification. Signature verification. We will add a secret, guys. We'll add a secret. Apart C. Signature means it is a combination of header plus payload plus extra secret. Okay, extra secret. Okay, guys, are you clear with this? The JWT token fragments. What is header? What is payload? What is signature? Are you guys clear here? Let me share this link. Okay, you can copy that link, guys. You can copy that link. Okay, before going to code, I want to explain the flow here. I want to explain the flow diagram of JWT. Okay, Let me give you a minute. So some flow diagram is there. You should understand that flow diagram very well, guys. Okay. Yeah. You can see the flow diagram here. Yeah. The first part of JWT is what, guys? See here. Let me draw the flow diagram. This is what? Client. And this is this the blue black line is server. Okay. Whenever you are calling a login method, whenever you are calling a login method, okay. See, guys, whenever you are trying to log in for the first time, whenever you are trying to log in for the first time, it will generate a token, guys. It will generate a token. It will generate a token. Guys, if you are interested, I will give you one layman example, guys. Okay, one standard example of JWT. Suppose if you are joining a new organization, right? If you're joining a new organization, am I correct? So in that scenario, suppose let's assume your watchman is maintaining a record. Your watchman is maintaining a record. Okay, your watchman is maintaining a record like this. Okay, all the new users are all the new joinees. Suppose you are going every day, you're going to office every day, you're going to office, okay, and the watchman will check, okay, whether this guy is a valid user or not. Okay, so likewise, so do you think in this way, suppose if the watchman is checking in this way, do you think is it a stateful or stateless operation? And do you think every time checking in the DB is a costly operation, right? Every time checking in the DB is a costly operation. Itself is a costly operation. So the thing is what? Whenever the user joined, they will give a registered ID card. Okay. Whenever the employee has been joined, they will give a registered ID card. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm suffering with cold. Yes, Trishel. That's what I'm telling. So daily, suppose a new employee joined. Okay. Suppose that in the scenario one, in the scenario one, in the scenario one, okay, every day the user is trying to go to the office, okay, and the watchman is checking whether that guy is there in the record or not. So every time he is checking the DB, it is stateful operation. The stateful operations are very costly operations, guys. The stateful operations are very costly. Let's assume, okay, so the watchman don't want this process. Okay, he got updated, he got educated with the JWT. Now in the day one itself only, whenever an employee joined, day one itself only, he will give a ID card, access card, okay, in the form of token. You know, every employee will be given an access card in the form of token, right? So just from the next day onwards, there is no need to check in the DB. Okay, just the watchman will check whether he has an access card or not. Yes, he will be allowed into the office. So this is the second one is what? Stateless approach. The first one is what? Stateful approach. This approach is called what? Stateful approach. That means you're storing the state. Okay, stateful approach. The second one is stateless approach. This is JWT approach. Stateless approach. Guys, are you clear so far? This example, are you guys clear? Yes, Rishal, I'll explain, Rishal. How does that algorithm work? Everything I will explain. Okay. Now let me explain the flow diagram of the JWT. Okay. So this is the one ideal scenario. Guys, am I audible properly? Can you ping me in the chat box? Am I audible properly? See, whenever the user is trying to log in for the first time, okay, for the first time, the authenticate method generated JWT token. Authenticate method generate a JWT token. Okay, generate JWT token, and that will be returned to whom, guys? That will be returned to client. See, this red line is called what? This red line is called what? Client. And this black line is called what? Server. Okay, whenever the client is trying to log in, okay, whenever the client is trying to log in for the first time, okay, the server is trying to generate that token and it is giving it to client. Now the client is having what, guys? That token. Okay, all the time now. Understood? Guys, are you able to follow, guys, this so far? Any other examples? Nandaral, I think that example is enough, Nandaral. The problem with this above example is, see, suppose the watchman is maintaining the DB. Okay, let's assume, okay, every day he used to went to Bangalore office. Okay, Bangalore office. Let's assume he came to Hyderabad office. Hyderabad office. Do you think the DB approach will work? It won't work because this DB is internal to Bangalore office, but the DB is not internal to Hyderabad office. So at that time you should use shared DB. Shared DB. Okay, Nandra, the shared DB. Okay, that's where, see, Hyderabad office, Bangalore office, Hyderabad office, and then Bangalore office. Okay, so whether he is trying to log in from Hyderabad office or Bangalore office, okay, every time you need to check in the DB. Okay, again, the DB should maintain data consistency. Data consistencies should be maintained across both the offices. Okay, but if the user is having JWT access token, he can simply swipe in and he can log in, right? Nandral, are you able to understand now the challenges with the DB approach? Nandral, are you able to understand the challenges with this approach? Yes, Bindu. The DB approach, so the token approach is stateless, correct? Okay. Okay, Nandral. Okay. Where are we? Yeah. So in the first time you are trying to log in, okay, you are trying to log in, that will generate a token. Okay. Okay. From the next time onwards, once you got the token, you can access n number of APIs. You can access n number of APIs. Suppose you take a Amazon portal, e-commerce portal, right? Inside e-commerce portal, you can have a order service, payment service, okay, and dashboard service and tracking service, right? Tracking service. Okay. So the client is gonna first hit the login API. Okay, it will hit the login API first. It will hit the login API. Login API. Okay, once the client was able to hit the login API, he will be given the token with some time period. Now, once he got the token with the same token without username and password, he can hit any API. Am I correct, Nandalam? Guys, are you able to understand here? With the same token, you can hit any API with ease. Okay. Okay, so for the first time, when you're trying to enter the login API, it will be given an token. With the same token, without username and password, for the next time, you can go with the order, you can go with the payment service, you can go with the tracking. Guys, what you got the advantage, guys? While hitting these three services, there is no need to check in the DB. There is no need to check in the DB. Okay, anything, they have the access token. We just need to validate whether that token is right or wrong. That's it. So for that, we can have some inbuilt methods. So we can greatly avoid DB calls using JWT approach, guys. Okay, you can greatly avoid DB calls using JWT approach. Guys, are you clear here? Okay. Yes, I'm feeling a bit cold. Yes, let's go for the code base, guys. Do you have any doubts on the theory part? Do you have any doubts on the theory part, guys? Tell me. Guys, so far I told enough theory for JSON web token, right? Do you have any doubts in the theory part? Guys, if you have any doubts, please ping me in the chat box. Okay, thank you, Bindu. We'll go for the coding part now. Okay, coding part. If you remember, see, let me complete the flow part. See, here, once you got the token, suppose if you hit the next time, you can hit some other API, right? Let's say you're trying to go for order API with the same token as input. Okay, with the token as input. Okay. Now, what if at the server level, what will happen is the server level first you should extract the token. Extract token, and you should verify the signature. They verify the signature. You should verify the 1 minute. You should verify the signature. Verify the signature. You verify the signature. Okay. Once the signature is correct, check the expiry time. Once signature is correct, check the expiry time. Check the expiry time. Expiry time. And then process the request. If everything is success, then process the request. Okay. then process the request. Guys, you see here, guys, second time, whenever you are trying to hit, whenever you are trying to hit a request with the token, if you're sending the token as the input, these many steps are performing in the backend. You are trying to extract the token and checking the signature, checking the expiry time, and then process the request. Okay, then gives the response to the client. Then gives response back to the client. See, guys, simple. Whenever you're trying to log in, you will get a token as the response. Am I correct? You will get a token as response. Token as response. With the same token, you are trying to go with the order service, you are trying to go with the dashboard service, you are trying to go with the tracking service, right? These many steps will be performed in the backend, guys. These many steps will be performed in the backend. Okay, right? I don't want to disturb that. Okay, response, guys. Do you have any doubts in the flow diagram of JWT? I will explain the code, guys. Don't worry. I'll explain the code. Don't worry. Do you have any doubts in the JWT part? Okay, Nandala. Thank you, Nandala. You see here. You can see here. See, guys, this is the JWT application. This is the JWT application where you can find on my GitHub page. You can find on the same GitHub page, guys. Okay. See this JWT approach. You can clone and you can practice it. Okay. And then I will be tagging that same link in the chat box also. You can see here. Okay, right, guys, let me walk through the code base now. Okay, let me walk through the code base now. Okay, first let us start with the controller layer, guys, as it is. See, register user, the register user is same only. Whenever you try to register, it will save with the username and password in the DB. That's it. Okay, that's it, guys. Okay, now we'll go for login. Guys, you see the login is again the same approach only, but once it is authenticated for the first time, you are trying to generate the token. This is different. Bindu, are you able to understand now? Once it is authenticated, you are trying to generate the token. In the DB authentication also, you can see the same login approach. Am I correct? The same login approach, but once it is authenticated, okay, you are trying to generate the token for the first time, and you need to return the token. Okay, see, as I told earlier, if you're trying for login API, the response is what? The token. Okay, the token. Am I correct? If you're trying to log in with a valid user, the client will be returned with a token as the response. You can see in the flow diagram here. Okay, token as the response. And from the next API onwards, okay, you can see here I wrote the third API. Apart from register and user, I wrote welcome API. Okay, if I want to hit welcome API, you need to send a token as a input. Token as the input. Guys, the execution part I will show you. The execution part I will show you. Okay. Now you see generate token. I will try to help you guys. See how to generate the token. Okay, you're calling create token. See here, create token. You can compare this method create token with the website, guys. You can see the website here. See, you need to set issue time. Okay, time at which you are setting. You need to set subject. You need to set the name. You need to set the admin. Okay, are you admin or not? See everything. You need to set the username. Issue date. See IIT time. Okay, issue date. Issue date means it is taking system time, guys. Okay, it is taking the present time of the system. Okay, then expiration time, present time of the system plus those many milliseconds you need to give. Those many milliseconds you need to give, guys. Okay, it is up to your own choice. and you should set which key you are using. Okay, which key you are using. This is the create token method. Okay, guys, are you able to follow so far? Create token method. Okay, this JWS you can see here. Okay, this is the built-in class, guys. JWS is the built-in class. And generate token here. See, JWTS. Okay. See, guys, remember, while you are going with the JWT approach, you should use three dependencies for JWT. Okay. How many? Three dependencies. One is JWT IMPL. Second one is JWT API. And the third one is JWT Jackson. Okay, these three dependencies are mandatory, guys. Okay, remember that these three dependencies are mandatory so that you can have a advantage to JWT utility classes. If you want to use JWT inbuilt classes to generate the token, to extract the token, you should use these dependencies very well. Okay, you should use these dependencies. Let me paste in the chat box. Okay, see here, JWT API, JWT IMPL, and JWT Jackson, so that you can use JSON utility classes for the token creation, for extracting the token, for checking the token, everything you can use that. Okay, guys, are you able to understand so far, guys? The entry point is nothing but what? The entry point is nothing but welcome. Register user is same. Login, when you are able to log in for the first time, when you're able to log in for the first time, okay, it will try to generate the token. It will return you the token using generate token method. While creating generate token, okay, you are giving the username and you're giving the time of issue date and the expiration policy and signature algorithm. Okay, encryption algorithm. Okay, guys, are you clear now for creating token? Guys, extracting the token, I will tell you. Extracting claims, I'll tell you, guys. Validating the token, extracting the sorry. Validating the token, extracting the token, I will tell you. But as of now, try to understand these two methods. Generate token. Okay, generate token. Guys, do you have any doubts so far? Guys, do you have any doubt? Generate token is inbuilt method. Nandalal, the method is not inbuilt method, Nandalal. In that, sorry. Yesterday I was drenched in rain actually. I went to marriage and while returning back, I was like rain came. I was drenched actually. So that's why I got a bit cold, but no worries. But very sorry, I'm getting sneezes and okay, sorry for that. Yeah, sorry. See, Nandalal, the generate token is not inbuilt method. Okay, this is our own method only. But inside that, you are using JWTS utility classes. Okay, this is inbuilt classes. Okay, this is JWTS is the input class. Okay, see here. You should tell the interviewer we are using JSON web token classes, utility classes. Okay, using utility class, you're setting a claims, you're setting a subject username, you're setting the issue date, and you're setting the expiration policy, you're setting the sign key. Okay, this one is inbuilt, but the method is not inbuilt, Nandalal. Okay, because every company has its own standard, right? The expiration policy, this will vary from company to company, enterprise to enterprise, based on the decision. We need to, as a developer, we need to set, right? It is not something like standard one. Okay, Nandala, clear, Nandala? Clear, Nandala? Okay, guys, do you have any doubts so far? You can ping me in the chat box. Okay, let us move for the next one. Okay, guys, if you hold on for half an hour, we'll complete everything, guys. Okay, just wait for half an hour, please. We'll complete everything. Okay. Okay. See, guys, remaining methods I will explain. Okay, just wait for a time. So far we have explained how to create a token. Okay, how to create a token. Understood, guys? Let me generate the token, guys. Let me hit the token now. Guys, the validation token is pending only. Okay, the validation token is at to discuss. Okay, it will be discussed. Please wait. Please wait for some time. Okay. Now let us try to log in now. 8081. Okay, login. Okay. First we need to register the users, right? First we need to register the users. Okay. Siam 1133 and let us take password 9090. See, Siam got successfully registered. Okay. Now let us try to register Ram 9091. Okay, now we'll go for login method. Guys, the expectation of the login method is what? It should generate token. Guys, 90990, right? Password for Shyam. Am I correct? Guys, what is the password we gave? Anyone? Oh my god. 1 minute. What is this error? C is Nalla. Are you sending or not? One minute. Okay. Okay, let us check the DB first. See, Shyam 1123 and Ram 1123. Okay, 108 and 109 are the IDs. Okay, right? Okay, now you see, we'll try to log in. Okay, Shyam. Okay, Shyam 1123. Ram 109, Ram 1123 with the password 6789. Just to change it to login. See, we are getting the token, guys. Okay, we are getting the token, guys. Are you clear so far? Are you clear so far? Guys, are you clear? We have generated the token successfully. Okay, we are just calling generate token method. Generate token method. It is calling the inbuilt method internally, and while generating the token, it is giving expression time, and second one is what username, and third one is what set claims. Likewise, it is giving 3 to 4 properties, and you are able to generate the token. Guys, so far are you clear? Now we'll go for validation of the token, guys. Okay, now remember, guys, now I want to explain two main classes here. See, earlier if you see username, password authentication filter, basic details filter, like we have n number of filters are there. But for JWT, you should write your own filter, guys. You should write your own filter. Okay. This is the logic, guys. You should write your own filter. Okay. If you see the logic here, from the request, from the authorization, once we got the token, right, from next time onwards, if you want to hit any API, you need to send the token. You need to send the token. Am I correct? From the next time onwards, if you want to hit to any API, you need to send the token with authorization as the key. Okay. Now see, whenever you're starting with a bearer, okay, you should extract the token, and see here, you are sending the token as input to extract username. See here, guys. Till now, my username is null. Okay, you are just sending. You're calling extract username. Okay, extract claim. See, you're trying to extract all claims. See, you're trying to extract the token, guys. Okay, you're trying to extract the token, guys. Understood, guys? This is all about extracting the usernames or extracting the token. So with this, you are able to extract the token. With this, you are able to extract the username. Understood, guys? With this, you are trying to extract the username, and if the username is not null and security context holder get context, okay, this one also equal to null. Okay, this means what, whenever you are logging in the first time, it is still null only. With the same, suppose you are trying to log in with the same token, okay, n number of times. Second time onwards, it won't be null, but for the first time you are trying to log in, it will be null only. Okay, now you see here, as you got the username using load user by username, as I already said this method, right, in the DB authentication also. Okay, so you need to generate the, you need to load the record. As you got the username, try to load the record. As you got the username, try to load the record. Okay, try to load the record. Now call the validate token method. See here, you call the extract username. Here you're calling the validate token. Okay, validate token. Okay, then once it got validated, you need to create same username password authentication, and you need to set details like this, and you need to set the security context holder. Guys, are you clear with this method? Guys, are you clear with this function? Guys, this is bit complex only. Okay, I will share the code. Please go through GitHub repo. See here, how many functions you called. One is extract username. Second one is what? Second one is validate token, and third one is load user by username. Okay, right, guys, are you clear? See here, first time we have called generate token while logging to the URI. Okay, now for the validating, you are calling these many methods. You are extracting the username, you are validating the token, and you are trying to load the entire record. Okay, that's it. So if everything is success, it will send a success true. Okay, then you will get the response. If everything is success, this will claim, this line will claim, okay, my token is right, then you will get the response. Guys, are you able to understand how you are validating the token, how you are extracting the token, how you are loading the username? Anyone have any doubts in this area? And db config is same, guys. Db config is same. See, you are setting authentication provider, and you need to set the filter also. Okay, so what you understood this filter? Guys, anyone have you understood anything here? See, app filter is JWT filter. Guys, the meaning of this line is what, guys? In security filter chain, you see here of JWT, okay, you are calling authentication provider. So you are configuring filter before username password authentication filter. This is the default filter. Before this filter is getting executed, I want my own filter to be executed. Okay. See here, you need to avoid authentication for login, register, or API. You need to avoid. Okay. Then you are telling this is session create policy, that you can leave it. Just you see here, you are configuring authentication provider, and you are configuring filter also. See guys, the security filter chain is responsible to configure filter. The security filter chain is responsible to configure authentication provider also. Guys, are you clear here? Are you clear with this approach? Are you guys clear with this approach, guys? Do you have any doubts? Ping me in the chat box. Yes, Nandral, all configuration is custom in DB authentication or in JWT authentication. Okay, everything is you need to configure externally. In security filter chain, you need to configure provider and you need to configure uh, filter. Okay, but in JWT, will configure in such a way that before username password authentication filter, try to execute my filter. That's the meaning of there. Okay, yes, Nandral. Okay. Guys, today I will upload in the drive also. Guys, don't worry. I will upload in the drive also. After this class, I will upload in the drive also. The recordings. Okay. Your regular drives. Okay. Right. Okay. Let us get back to the execution now again. Okay. I think the token is already expired, right? Let us try to create a new token again. Okay. Let us try to create a new token again. Okay. We got a new token now. Now go for welcome, guys. Now it is important. Guys, see how to execute now. How to execute now. Welcome. Okay. Go for authorization. Okay, you can give the token here. See, set the type authorization type as bearer token. Okay, bearer token. See, welcome to workshop. Okay, welcome to workshop. Or if you don't want this way, click on no auth, go to headers, authorization, and copy here. Right, right. Yeah, else you can hit in this way also. Both are same, guys. You can go with the authorization and click on bearer token. Okay, and give the token directly, or you can go for headers using authorization. You can go for a bearer space token. And if you see the filter, if you see the JWT filter, if you see the JWT filter, see guys, this app filter we have configured in line 88. Okay, so please execute my filter before username password authentication filter. Okay, and you see the app filter, how the code is, see, you're getting you're getting the authorization as the key. You're getting the authorization. See, from HTTP servlet request, you're trying to get the auth header. Okay, then you're getting the username. Then you are validating the token. Right, this much policy is doing, guys. If the token is valid, it will send a true. It will send true to the next layer. If the token is invalid, it will send false. Guys, are you able to understand the JWT approach, guys? Everyone, guys, are you able to understand the JWT approach? Everyone, guys, what is token revocation? Token revocation, I think it's not needed, Nandalal, because expiration policy is there. No, after certain time, token automatically revoked. Token automatically expired. Okay, that is enough. No, that itself is token revocation. I think, yeah, that is there is no special concept like token revocation. Okay, guys, if you are clear, let us go for OAuth, guys. The last security approach, OAuth. Guys, we came to the last part of the workshop, guys. Just hold on for 15 minutes. I will try to complete that as well. Okay. One minute, guys. Message is coming. Guys, shall we start with the OAuth approach? Guys, do you have any doubts, guys? So far, we covered the five approaches: JWT approach, database authentication, custom security, default security. Likewise, we covered everything, right? Do you have any doubts so far? Right. Let us start with the OAuth approach, guys. Okay. Guys, let me explain the flow of OAuth, guys. Let me explain the flow of OAuth. 15 minutes and I put in there. There are four actors are there, guys. In here, in OAuth, let me discuss four authors, four actors. Okay, four actors. The first one is resource owner, guys. These terminologies are very important. Okay, resource owner. The second one is client. Client. The third one is authorization server. And the fourth one is, come on, any idea? What is fourth one? Resource server. Guys, basically where this concept will fit, guys. Before I want to go with the flow of this OAuth, I want to explain where this concept will be used mostly. Right? Suppose if you take Book My Show, guys, I want to tell you the advantages of that. Suppose if you want to sign in, see, it will show you the Google, it will show you the email, it will show you the Apple. Okay. And if you take hacker rank, see, if you click on login, see, it is showing you the continue with Google. See, instead of entering username and password, you can continue with the Google, you can continue with LinkedIn, you can continue with GitHub. Likewise, it is asking or not. So this approach is called what, guys? OAuth approach. This approach is called OAuth. So guys, can you tell me what is the benefit of using this way? Okay, you are not entering username, you are not entering the password. Can you tell me what is the advantage for a company if they are following with the OAuth approach? Anyone? What is the benefit, guys? Anyone? Yes, can you tell me what is the benefit? If the company is using OAuth means they should pay something to Google. If the company is using OAuth as a LinkedIn means they should pay something to LinkedIn. See, these buttons are not free, guys. These buttons are not free. Okay, if I want to use my LinkedIn as the authentication, I should, this hacker rank is going to pay something to LinkedIn. If the hacker rank is GitHub, they should pay something to GitHub. All right, this is not free. But tell me why this plays a key role, guys? Why this plays a key role? Why the companies are paying some lakhs of amounts and they're using that one? Anyone? They can access our Google account details such as no, Panduranga. No, that is not the case. Okay, that is internal. Okay, whether they are using our details, okay, for advertisement, that is internal. But outside, okay, if the engineer is asking, you can't tell this. Okay, you can't tell. Don't tell this one. Okay, but this might be right. I don't know. Okay, they as their privacy policies. I don't know. But my question is, see, the companies like Book My Show, Hacker Rank. Okay, they're paying lakhs of amounts. Okay, they're paying lakhs of amounts to Google. No separate. Yes. Okay, no separate credentials to remember. That is partially right. That is partially right. But can you tell me some exact, some other reason is there? See, suppose if they're asking to register, okay, if they're asking to register, right? Okay, they need to give 10 details, username, password, address, mail IDs, phone numbers. See, that in the meanwhile, the user might got frustrated and they might live in the middle. They might live in the between only. Okay, because of this, the companies, they might lose a huge number of clients. Am I correct? Suppose out of 100 clients, there are 20 guys are only patient, 80 guys are not patient. Those 80 guys not going to register, not going to register, and it is going to take some time of the user, right? It is going to take some time of the user. So because of this reason, the companies are paying lakhs of amounts to the Google, GitHub, okay, and LinkedIn, okay, to give the OAuth to resource, okay, OAuth to resource guys, okay, right? Guys, are you able to understand the use case of that approach? Are you able to understand the use case of that approach, guys? Guys, are you able to understand the use case of that approach? Understood, right? Any doubts, guys, so far? Yes, no sign up also required, and the companies will get a huge number of clients, okay, because the patient guys are the ones who will do the total process. But a impatient guy, okay, if the guy is not a patient, okay, they will leave in that, they will drop in the middle, right? So like this, if they're like this, they might lose a huge number of revenue. Like this, they might lose a huge number of revenue, okay. Okay, first the see, suppose if suppose if I created a company, I want Google access on my page, or I want LinkedIn access on my page. I need a client ID and client secret from the authorization server, guys. Remember that first, the client means what, guys? It should be Hacker Rank, it should be Book My Show, or it should be Nika, okay, anything, okay, or it should be Instagram, anything, okay. Let us take Book My Show. So if Bookmesher wanted the button of Google, or if the Bookmesher wanted the button of Gmail, okay, then first the Bookmesher should register in the authorization server. Remember that, okay, in the authorization server, okay. Registration, and the client will return with what, guys? The client will return with what? Client ID and client secret, guys. I will show you how to generate this client ID and client secret. Don't worry, okay. I will show you that. Client secret, okay. Guys, are you clear so far? Are you clear so far? Let me show you how to generate the client ID and client secret, okay. Go to settings, okay. Settings, then go for developer settings, then click on OAuth apps. Guys, remember the path, remember the path. Any website, okay, any website, go to settings, Then developer settings, let me write that. Go to settings first. పర్లేదండి పర్లేదు అయిపోయింది 10 నిమిషాలు అయిపోతుంది. Go to settings, then comes what? Developer settings. Settings, developer settings, auth apps. Okay. Then see, then you should register. See here. See, these are all the my practice sites, guys. Okay. Now click on new auth app. Okay. Click on new auth app. Guys, this is the process to generate a client ID and client secret. Suppose I started my own business, or BMS, or Instagram, or HackerRank. If they wanted to, Gmail button on their server, on their page, or if they wanted a LinkedIn button, or if they wanted a GitHub button, okay, then you should do this process. Okay. Click on this button, new OAuth app. Right? Just we'll try to create a button, guys. Okay. Today date is what? 23/8. Okay. Security workshop. And homepage, guys, this is very important, guys. Okay. Homepage URL and redirected URL. You should give these two very clearly. Okay. Let me give you those two. Okay. See, this is the homepage URL, guys. Okay. Then callback URL. Guys, I'll share the notes, guys. In the notes, they will be there. Don't worry. What is the homepage URL? What is the callback URL? See, homepage URL means the page which you're going to land. The callback URL means this OAuth 2, it will trigger this URL, guys. At some point internally, this callback URL will be triggered. Okay, this callback URL will be triggered. Okay. This is homepage URL and callback URL or redirected URL. Okay. This is the redirected URL. Okay. Now click on register application. Register application. See, see, if any website, suppose my business wanted a GitHub authentication on a page. First, you should register. Okay, your homepage URL and callback URL. Then you will get a client ID. Then you will get what, guys? Client ID. Understand? Client ID. Okay. Then it will generate what? Client ID. Then upon clicking the client secret, you will get that one as well. Oh my God, I not like now. See client ID and generate a new client secret. You'll get a client ID and client secret. Understood? Now you should use these two credentials in your application, guys. You should use these two credentials in your application. Okay, client ID and client secret. Okay, guys, let me show you the code base now. Let me show you the code base now. Okay, you see the code base now. See, simple URL page. Simple URL page. Okay, now the entire thing is here, guys. The entire thing is entire game changer is here. Entire game changer is here. Okay, see, this is the one. This is the spec you should use for if you want to register with GitHub. See, security auth to client registration GitHub. You should mention the client ID and client secret here. That's it. Okay, that's it. Copy that client ID and client secret. right? That's it, guys. Okay, now see, now the target is what? If you're trying to hit, oh my god, what is this? See, if you're trying to hit this URL, okay, now you need to log into GitHub. Okay, see, my endpoint is what, guys? API, OAuth, and the resource. If you're trying to log into this resource URL, you need to authenticate through GitHub. If you're able to authenticate through GitHub, you need to access the resources, the message like welcome to OAuth. If you successfully authenticated with GitHub, then you can see the message. Then you can see the message. Okay, clear, people. Guys, are you clear with the flow? Any doubts you have, guys? Any doubts you have? See, the thing is, if you want to log into our URL, okay, it will ask the GitHub credentials. If you successfully give the GitHub credentials, you can log into the system. Okay, you can access the resources. Okay, clear? Let us see here. Before going for that, we see what are the POM dependencies. Okay. See, OAuth to client is enough, guys. OAuth to client is enough. Okay. That's it. I mean, everything is same only. OAuth to client is enough. Let me restart the application. Okay. Right. Now let me hit this endpoint, guys. Okay. First, you should log out through GitHub so that it will ask. Otherwise, it will directly prompt you the resource message. First, you should log out the GitHub page. Click on logout. Sign up. Localhost. /80/80. Okay. API. What is the URL, guys? What is the URL? API auth resource. See, it will try to. Oh my god. It is running or not, guys? Wait. Let me restart the server again. See, the ultimate target is you need to log in through that 80/80. Okay. Okay, it is 888/7, guys. Sorry. It is 888/7. It is asking, see, this is my business. Okay, you need to sign into GitHub. Okay, you need to GitHub as a external support. See, click on authorize. That's it. Okay, you can see the resource message. See, guys, welcome to OAuth. Okay, welcome to OAuth, guys. Okay, this is the about OAuth, guys. Okay, this is about OAuth, guys. Okay, guys, do you have any doubts? The flow is pending, guys. Few more minutes are required. The flow is pending. Do you have any doubts, guys? If you have any doubts, please ping me. The OAuth execution is completed. Let me explain the internal flow. Before that, if you have any doubts, please ping me. Guys, let me explain the internal flow, guys. Let me explain the internal flow. You see here. So till here it is done, right? Once you got the client ID and client secret, you can register now. Suppose the resource owner is nothing but ourselves, okay, the end users. So suppose he is trying to sign in with the Instar LinkedIn, sign in with GitHub, sign in with Gmail, okay. Then this will redirect to authorization server. Okay. Now the BMS, the Book My Show. See, suppose myself, I wanted to log into Book My Show using Gmail. Now Book My Show will ask the Gmail server, hey Gmail, is this guy is a valid resource or not? Valid user of you or not? Okay. Likewise, it will ask. Okay. Redirects. Okay. One or two authorization server. Right. 1 minute. Okay. Okay, now if you, sometimes you see, right, sometimes you can see, right, you need to enter the number, you need to enter the token, right? So here the Warner himself, Warner authenticate and provides the consent. So you should accept, you should accept some things, right? Earlier you can see you are accepting the GitHub policy. Likewise, you need to accept some policies, right? So here in the authorization server will display a prompting page. The authorization server will display a prompting page where the resource owner need to enter his consent. Okay, Warner authenticate and provides the consent. Warner authenticate and provides the consent. Okay. Okay, right? Guys, so far are you guys clear with this flow, guys? So far are you guys clear with the flow? See, guys, initially the flow is what? Initially you are sending with the, initially the Book My Show is doing registration. You will get a client ID and client secret. Understood? Then whenever the end user is trying to sign in with Gmail, now my Book My Show will ask to authorization server, hey Google, is this guy is a valid user of you or not? Now the Google will prompt a page. The Google will prompt a page to enter your token or that passcode and give the consent. Okay, right? Once you give the consent, it will provide you the authorization code. Okay, it will provide Book My Show the authorization code. See, the client ID is different, client secret is different, and authorization code is different, guys. Okay, authorization code. Understood? Now you see, guys. Let me explain the steps in detail, guys. Okay, I'm just in 5 minutes we're gonna wrap up the class. Just hold on for a time. Now the communication between these two guys only. Now once this client got authorization code, it will request for request token. Now it will request token using authorization code. Okay, request token using authorization code. Guys, you need to explain the flow, guys, in the interview. Okay, remember that. Okay, authorization code. Okay, request token for authorization code. Then this will provide token and refresh token. Provides token and refresh token. Probesh token, refresh token. Okay. Okay. 1 minute. Now this token, this is called access token, guys. This is called access token. This token will be sent to server. This token will be sent it to server. Okay. This token will be sent it to the server. Okay. This token will be sent it to whom, guys? Resource owner. Okay. To check whether the token is right or wrong. Now the client will ask the resource owner to check whether the token is right or wrong. Okay. Resource owner. Whether the resource owner. Resource owner. Okay. Now the communication between these two guys. Okay, and it will validate the token. This resource owner will validate the token now. Okay, and send it to this authorization server. Okay, the resource owner will validate the token and send it to this authorization server. Validate token, sent result. Okay, sent result to authorization server. If it is valid, okay, valid, it might be valid or invalid. If it is valid, the user can see the book my show page. If it is valid, the user can see the book my show page. If it is invalid, the user can't see the book my show page. Okay, he will see the 401 error. Okay, it is valid or invalid. Guys, let me explain just a minute. Valid or invalid. Okay, that's it. If it is valid, the user can see the book my show token, book my show page. If it is valid, else he can't see the page. Guys, are you able to understand the diagram, guys? Are you able to understand the diagram, everyone? Guys, are you able to understand the diagram, this flow diagram? See, let me recap. The first time the client will ask for client ID and client secret. Then the end user is trying to log in with Gmail. Okay, then it will direct to authorization server. Then authorization server provides a page for the consent. Then it will provide you the authorization code. Using the authorization code, the client will request for token, access token. Okay, it will provide the access token. So this access token will be sent to resource owner. Okay, if it is true, it will check, it will tell valid. If it is false, it will tell invalid. If it is valid, it can show, display the page. Understood, guys? See, let me summarize the steps now. You can see the steps here, guys. Okay. See, the step one is what? The step one is what, guys? BMS client will register with Google. The Google will provide client ID and client secret. Step 3 is what? The resource owner will try to sign up with Google. Step 4 is what? The client will interact with the authorization server, whether he is a valid customer of Google or not. And if he is valid user, then authorization server will send the authorization code. The client will request the access token using authorization code. Authorization server will send the access token. The client will ask for validation of the token with the Gmail resource owner. Okay. Then step 9, if it is token is valid, it will display the login page. Else, it will say user is invalid, guys. That's it about the OAuth, guys. Okay, guys, I will share the notes also. Please go through the notes as well. Okay, guys, I'm done. I'm done for the day, guys. If you have any doubts, please feel free to ping in the chat box. Else, you can drop for the day, guys. I'm happy to see the feedback, guys. If anyone want to give some feedback, I'm happy to take the feedbacks, whether it is anyway. Okay, yeah. And anyway, thanks for joining on Sunday. Also, yeah, thanks for joining us. Yeah. Any doubts or feedbacks, you can ping in the chat box, guys. Guys, if you have any doubts or feedbacks, you can ping in the chat box. I'll be reading your feedbacks. Okay, I'll be taking your feedbacks.